Was it over a year?
I just said I do not know.
Well, I'm asking for a reasonable estimate. If you have no way of giving an estimate, that's fine. I just wasn't sure if it was less than 6 months, a couple months, over a year.
I do not know.
Okay. So it could have been multiple years?
I don't think it was multiple years.
Okay. Have you ever had born alive cases at your affiliate?
Objection, irrelevant, lacks foundation, vague and ambiguous, and that goes to the protective order. So I will instruct that goes to the area of testimony. The Judge Ryu's order says that cannot be inquired into, and on that basis I'm going to instruct the witness not to answer.
Well, I'm asking about Dr. Russo's statement, so I'll just stick to that. She says it happens sometimes, but it's pretty rare. Do you know if in any of those occasions there were born alive infants?
Objection, mischaracterizes the videotape, lacks foundation, calls for speculation, calls for medical opinion.
To the best of my knowledge, no.
Would you expect to be made aware if there were, in fact, born alive cases?
Objection, calls for speculation, lacks foundation, vague and ambiguous, calls for medical opinion, calls for legal opinion.
I think that Dr. Russo would alert me if we had such a situation, yes.
You've never been alerted of that situation in your 25 years at Orange County?
One time, maybe 20 years ago, I don't honestly remember, there was such a situation and I was made aware of it.
Do you remember what happened?
The fetus wasn't viable and expired very quickly.
Do you remember who the doctor was?
I do not.
Do you remember how you were made aware of it? Was it the next day?
I don't remember the details except that I was made aware that it happened. Staff were upset about it, but there was nothing that could be done. The fetus was not anywhere near viable.
Do you know how far along the fetus was?
I don't remember specifically.
Okay.
That is the only time in my 25 years there that I'm aware that such a thing took place.
You didn't talk to Dr. Russo before your deposition today, but one of the questions I wanted to ask was if you asked her what she meant when she said, "But we tried." But I assume you did not ask her what she meant, correct?
I didn't talk to her at all.
Would you, counsel, I think that the witness was required to be prepared to answer questions about the video clip, so do you have any explanation for that? I mean,
No.
that the fact that the witness didn't even speak to the person on whose behalf the organization is suing?
I'm not going to tell you what we did to prepare
Well,
the witness.
I'm going to tell you
today.
that I think we have an unprepared witness.
Well,
So, I mean, I'm just letting you know.
okay.
If you were made aware, so in the situation you described 20 years ago, do you know what your staff did to, if anything, to tend to that fetus? Did they call 911?
Objection, calls for speculation, beyond the scope, irrelevant.
I have only vague recollection of it. I know they kept it warm and comfortable for the very brief period that it was alive. I don't think there was even time to call 911. It was a matter of seconds.
Is that the protocol? Just keep it warm and comfortable?
Objection, assumes facts not in evidence, lacks foundation, calls for speculation.
This is something that every obstetrician gynecologist deals with on rare occasion. I'm not a medical doctor. I've never been in such a situation. It is their medical judgment what to do in that circumstance.
Okay, so the medical directors would decide what the protocols are, not the CEO.
Objection,
Does the CEO
speculation.
actually make sure those,
Objection.
well, I'm withdrawing the
false.
question.
Okay,
so-
well then say, I'm withdrawing the
Okay,
question.
so I assume that as CEO, you want to make sure the medical protocols are being followed at your organization, correct?
Objection, vague and ambiguous, overbroad.
Yes, in general, I would want the medical protocols followed at my affiliate.
And you would also want to have a general understanding as to what those protocols are.
Objection, vague and ambiguous, overbroad.
Only a very general